Hello, amazing fourth graders. This is Mr. Torbain here for lesson 7.3. Here is your objective. Your objective is I will add fractions. So let's shape the model to show the problem below. We have one hole, and right underneath it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. So I'm going to shade these first two parts and have 2/5, and shade the last three parts and 3/5. As you can see, 2/5 plus 3/5, I have 5/5 total shading. You may remember from a previous video that when you have a common denominator, in this case, your common denominator is 5, then you just add the numerator. 2 plus 3 is 5, so 2/5 plus 3/5 is 5/5. Let's take a look at another example, okay? So let's shade 3/8 and shade 1/8. 3/8 plus 1/8, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8. Again, you're just adding the numerator. 3 plus 1 is 4. Keep your denominator the same. Be careful. Don't add your denominators if it's a common denominator. And we have 4/8. Another way that we can add fractions is to represent it on a number line. So take a look at our number line. It's broken up, starting with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total parts. Let's go ahead and put 2/6 on our number line. 2/6 is right here. When we add 1/6, we just move over 1/6, just like you see right here. And we are at 3 out of 6 of the parts. Okay, so 2/6 plus 1/6 is 3/6. Another example is to start with 5/10. Can you take your finger and start at 0 and move over until you get to 5/10? Go ahead and move your finger to 5/10 on the number line. Hopefully 5/10 is right there in the middle. You put your finger right here. And when you add 3/10, you're going to move over 1, 2, and 3 more total parts. That should put you on 8 out of 10 of the total parts on your number line. So how would you add the following fractions? Maybe you already know how to do that. 4/7 plus 2/7. When you add the numerator, 4 plus 2, that gives me 6/7. On this other example, 6/8 plus 1/8. Well, you just add the numerator. 6 plus 1 is 7. So 6/8 plus 1/8 is 7/8. All right, I am on page 399 in my GoMath workbook. We are going to take a look at number 7. The instructions read, find the sum. Use models or iTools to help. Okay, so there are models available in your classroom for you to help if you need that additional support. So we have 5/8 plus 2/8. Again, I've been saying this a lot, but when you have a common denominator, so our denominator is 8, let's go ahead and keep that 8 the same. All we have to do is worry about the numerator. I have 5 plus 2, and that gives me 7/8. If for some reason you're not convinced, let's take a look at this model right here. So here I have one whole, and I'm starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths. When I add 2 more eighths, I have 6/8 and 7/8. So as you can see right here, 5/8 plus 2/8 equals 7/8. Showing you how to do a couple of problems in your GoMath workbook. Let's take a look at some important vocabulary words that are going to help you speak my favorite language, math. Maybe you already know what a sum is. You should. Hopefully, you remember what an addend is. And we're going to review what a unit fraction is. So the sum is the answer, okay, to an addition problem. So an addend are the numbers that you add. And a unit fraction has a 1 in the numerator. So let's take a look at the example we just looked at. We had 5/8 plus 2/8 equals 7/8. Our unit fraction is just going to be one of these fraction tiles. So 1 in the numerator out of 8 total parts, that is our unit fraction, okay? Now, the addends are the numbers that we're adding, okay? So if we had 5/8 plus 2/8, 5/8 would be our first addend, and 2/8 would be our second addend, all right? Now, our sum is the answer to an addition problem, okay? So when I added those up together, I had 5/8 plus 2/8. What did I get? Well, as you remember, I had 7/8. So our sum is the answer to an addition problem. Our addends, usually there's more than one, are the numbers that you are adding. And a unit fraction is just a fraction with a 1 in the numerator.